Well, hello my friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time visiting, I'm Pastor Michael Nicodemus. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be installing a new back door in my home. And I thought, what greater opportunity do I have to be able to teach the fatherless, those young boys and those young girls out there that want to tackle this project for themselves, how to do it. So in this video, my friends, I'm giving you a step-by-step play on how to remove a door and install a new one in its place. Let's get started as we start with the painting of the new door. My friends, here's a disclaimer. I am putting in a new door. As you can tell, this door is quite a bit higher than the original door I'm putting in. It's higher than the original door. That means I have to change out the header above the doorway. It has to be just as strong as it was before I removed it. Here's my disclaimer. I own my house and I have a vast knowledge of the building codes in the valley I live in. If you don't know the building codes and you don't own your own home, I would advise you not to change out the structural components in your walls. I am an expert and I'm doing this and I'm giving you advice. All right, so you can follow along in this video as I show you what I'm going to be doing. Well, my friends, in this section here, what I'm doing is I'm doing some advanced editing. I'm actually going to be doing a video within a video. What I like about this, my friends, is my wife actually ran the camera for me. So as you can tell, I have to take that down one step at a time. And a narrow deck right there that's a little bit difficult for me to see, to get around it, so that's how I had to take it down the steps. And there it is, the door is out of there, my friends. Now my friends, what I'm going to be doing in this little video is I got to take out the old header. So let's watch this together, and I'll talk to you as I'm watching it so you know what I had to do here. So this video, my friends, I actually have to take that old header out. As you can tell there, the new header is above there. So you just basically cut it with your Sawzall. That's what I use to cut that in the middle. And got to pull the pieces out of there, as you're seeing. It's it's quite a bit of a job, as you can see what I'm doing right there. And the next step is to prepare the sides, make sure there's nothing on the sides that have to come out. So I'll talk to you again in the next little session.
I should send these to Gerald. So this is the proper way to put a door in. What are you doing now?
That's the top of the new door.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut this piece of plywood out. Can you see the plywood?
Yep.
This is the height of the old door.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've done is I've extended the header up to the right height. And then I put these little blocks in here to extend this jack stud.
I see.
This is a king stud that comes all the way through here. This holds the top tight. This is a jack stud, so I just extended that to hold that header up.
Oh wow.
Now I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to put that door frame in there.
Awesome. Good job.
So I plug it in.
A lot of work to put a door in.
Yep. When that happens, my friends, slow down the speed of your Sawzall.
Excited. Wait, babe, you should put a mask on just for the You want me to get you one?
Just hold your breath.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, you can go get me a mask.
Okay, 1 second, babe.
Well, in this little section, my friends, my wife didn't think I needed to hold my breath to cut that plywood out of there, so you're seeing me with a mask on in this little section, and cutting the rest of that plywood out of there. As you can tell, that plastic is creating a problem. It's getting bound up in the saw blade there. So I really need to cut that plastic. I think the plastic was put on the outside of this home for a moisture barrier before they put that siding over the top of it. The siding is 4x8 sheets of T11 siding, which is a wood grain siding with 8-inch on center wood grooves. So that's the siding that I'm cutting out, and as you can see, it's wafer board on the inside of it. A little bit of time-consuming work there, my friends. And there she falls away. And I did a little bit of a trim work to it to make sure that my new door jamb is going to fit in there correctly.
Alright, so what are you doing now?
Let's seal the bottom so moisture can't get in.
Uh-huh. Is that the same stuff you use to like caulk bathtubs?
This is a silicone adhesive.
Oh. So a little different? So more weather resistant, right?
Right.
Nice.
When you have arthritis, your hands stick.
Yep, I know the feeling.
Up and set it right over the top of it. Line up your drywall to your jam edge. Then you want to put a level on it. You always put your jam side against the solid against the edge, and you can see that it's level right there.
Oh, yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to level this jam with the drywall, and then we'll screw it into both sides.
Awesome.
Let's take a break. Well, my friends, I'm doing another step in the installation of this door. This is the tape coat, and when I say tape coat, it means I'm applying tape, and then I'm going to apply a coat of mud. So let's get the tape up there, and then I'm going to show you the process of applying the mud. The mud's going to take 3 steps to do this. So let me get the tape up there, and then we'll talk about the tools that I use. Here we go. I find on these seams just to use some fiber tape works the best. I'm also going over painted and textured drywall, and so my tape may not as hold as normal as it would necessarily on new drywall. So you just do a little bit at a time accordingly to it staying in place. I usually like to tape up all my joints and then do my mud all at one time. Just got to really make sure it stays in place, because I've had it fall on me before. When I cover up the majority of the joints. So now it's covered up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the tools that I use. First of all, with the little space that I have, I'm going to use a little sander when I sand down my coats. So my first coat of mud, I'm going to use this knife. For my second coat of mud, I'm going to use this knife. For my third coat of mud, I'm going to use this knife. And I'm going to put my mud in this container, okay? So for my first coat of mud, I'm just going to come right out of my little bucket of mud. I'll show you here in a minute what I'm using. This is a pre-mixed bucket of mud. This is just basically an all-purpose joint compound mud. And because my first coat is to fill in voids, I'm not trying to feather it, I just want to make it smooth. So with the amount of seams that I got to fill, that's about all I'm going to use. Okay. Now when I do my second and my third coat of mud, I thin it down with water. I want to do that in my first coat. Your first coat of mud is just a filler coat. Make it as smooth as you possibly can to save you from having to sand down so much later. All right, now there's a little trick to get close to that corner up there. That's a left side corner. So I'm going to put a little bit of mud right there, and I'm just going to come down there, and then I don't have to get it all over that jamb on that doorway. And you can see some divots in here where the seams need to be floated out. That's why I do several coats of mud. And catch this one. And if you pull on the tape and it becomes rough, just lay it back down. I've been doing this work since I was about 15 years old, and that's been about 40 years ago, my friends. And you'll see a screw head that's up there that's black. So I want to cover that in too. All right. So my friends, I basically got my first cover of mud done, and it's going to have to be feathered out quite a bit. And that's how we do additional coats of mud. So I'm not going to shoot a video on each coat of putting this mud up here, because it's just a little redundant. It's doing the same thing, just with thinner mud, okay? So I'm gonna do a little bit more mud right there because there's a valley right there. I just kind of want to get that even. So a lot of people will use paper tape, and that's okay too, but I like to use my fiber mesh tape on my joints, just because I live in a trailer house and it settles, and I live in a mountain, so the rocks from the mountains move a little bit. So I'm just filling in some davits. So after I get 2 more coats done, my friends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to do a texture, because my walls are textured. So I'll show you how I do the texture coat when I come back. So that's it for the tape coat. I put the tape on and I did a first coat of mud. So join me as we texture on the next coat. Well, hello my friends. I'm back again with my door installation project. This is the texture stage. Okay, so what I want to show you is behind me you can see that I've got 3 coats of mud on my wall here. So I use a texture hopper. I want to show that to you here in a minute. So this is a texture hopper, and this is the tip that the gun has. I've got probably the biggest tip in my assortment on here. I think you can see that a little bit. So the thicker the texture that you want on your wall, the bigger the hole of your hopper needs to be, right? So I've mixed up my mud. I haven't put it in my hopper yet because it's kind of runny and it has a tendency to make a mess. So I mix up my mud in my container like this, and you want it so it just kind of like drips off of the gun or off of your knife. So when you get ready to knock it down, it'll come out of there a lot easier. So my friends, what I'm going to do is my air compressor, I filled it up. So this runs off of an air compressor between 70 and 90 pounds of pressure. So what I want to do is, my walls are already textured. So I want to kind of match my texture to this. And I just dropped my keys right there. But I want to texture this so it kind of blends in. So what I've done, my friends, is I have taped off my door. It's a new door, and I put 3 or 4 or 5 coats of paint on that door. So I don't want to get texture spray on there, because it's easier when I get done to fix it. And over here on this side, there's another door, and I've put plastic on that door, as you can see, because I don't want to get texture spray on it either. So what I'm going to do, my friends, is I'm going to put on my safety gear. And because this blows a lot, we want to use a mask. And we want to use safety glasses. So I'm going to go ahead and get them on. I'm going to put some of this mud in this hopper. Just dump that right in that hopper. It means I don't need a lot. I've just got a few spots to cover. Now, if I was going to do a big area, my friends, I'd go down to the local rental store and I would rent a big old hopper and mix this up a little bit better. So let's get started here. Well, my friends, that's the gist of adding the texture. As you've seen, just to do that spot just took a couple of seconds. And as you can tell, it's kind of wet there, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry probably about 10-15 minutes. And then I'm going to take a broad knife, kind of like this one, and I'm just going to do a knockdown on that. And so I'll come back in this video and I'll show you kind of what it looks like when I knock it down. And then I'll paint it, and then I'll do the trim. So I'll see you back in just a little bit. Well, my friends, it's been about 20 minutes that I've waited to look at knocking this down. Here's a little touch test. So you want to get it so it's barely staying on your fingers, and then you want to just knock it down. So I'm going to move this a little bit. So let's knock it down. Now, my friends, that's what it looks like from your distance, but let me move you a little bit closer so you can actually see, hopefully, what it looks like. So I like that kind of a texture. It kind of not the same as a heavy knockdown texture, but you can see right there that it looks pretty good. So let me put you back over here. Sorry for the destruction move of the video camera, but I wanted you to see that from my perspective. I like that style, and before I paint it, I'll probably do another short video so you can see what the texture looks like when it's in the dried state. And then after that dries, I'll do a light sanding on it, and then it's ready for paint. So I want to show you the fact that I taped off that door right there, and there's a line right here, but I can blend that in when I paint, see what I mean? Now if I would have not covered that up, it would have had that same texture down over the top of it. So basically when that's done, my friends, you can go and you can pull off your plastic from your doorway, and it saves a lot of work in the long run, because now I don't have to scrub that door down. So I think that's a pretty cool demonstration. As you know, my friends, I am a spiritual health guide. I'm also trying to help the fatherless, those boys and girls that grew up without a father. This is something that I would be teaching my own children. I only have a daughter, and she's the one that requested that I do the YouTube channel. So here it is, my friends, being a father to the fatherless. Use a brush on this because of the notches in the wood design. A rag would make it too tough, and it would tear up my rag. Bought this in a kit with plastic around it, so I had no idea that had a bad bow in it. But it's door casing, so it should be okay. You're wondering what color I'm using. There it is. I'll show you how to solve that bow in the installation stage. Sometimes I put 2 coats of stain on it. My whole house has this kind of trim on it. I'll do some of this off camera because I don't want to change the view and I don't want to be the focus of the project right now. They just focus on the wood. Sometimes transformation happens when we do remodel work. Improve the quality of what we're doing in our life. That's kind of been the concept of this whole door, is to improve the quality of what was there. How do you know I replaced the door with something new? The old one wasn't doing the job I wanted it to do. First of all, because I'm a 6.5 foot tall guy, and I purchased a trailer house. It had a trailer house door in it, so it wasn't my idea to keep a short door. On the back door. One of these days I'll shoot another lifestyle video and share with you how I got this home. It's paid off, but I have a lot of rent. But my rent is pretty cheap compared to where I live. We'll talk about that in another video. Getting up there in age and trying to work ministry out of my home. This gives us a nice little rich look on the paint now. I'll second coat these real quick. Friends, that's about it for the first coat. I'm outside, so there's a lot of traffic going by. Out here in this breeze, it dries pretty fast, so give my second coat on. Does this with gloves on, but I'm not too worried about it. This old piece one more time. Like I said, I'll show you how to take care of the bow when I install it. As you can tell, it's pretty bad. Jump over here and get this other side on this. Yeah, it looks beautiful with 2 coats on it. Kind of looks like leather, or yeah, leather like you would put on a horse or something. That's kind of like why I like it, is that light shade of leather color. on this. I know it says wait 10 minutes, but it's a really pretty stain, my friends. Kind of like the lighter look of wood stain instead of darker stuff. Guess what I did there? That stain all over the side of the house there. I'm going to have to go get a rag and wipe that off. You can see it down there. It's a good thing we're painting that up another coat. But I'm going to go wipe that off, so my wife has a tendency to see those things. Well, there it is, my friends. I'll be back later. Well, my friends, here we are in the installation step of the trim. Remember when I was staining the trim, I had one piece that was really bowed. The other piece was okay. I've already installed this piece right here, as you can see, and I've installed the little thing that goes above it. Well, I told you I would show you how to take care of a bulge. This is actually warped. You can see how warped that is when I put it on the wall. So in order to pull that in, my friends, we're going to have to clamp it. But for the clamps to hold, we're going to have to glue this piece. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Bump the camera because I'm using a, I guess I can put it out here, can't I? So let's put some glue on it. Because this is a different kind of a casing, you want to put it on this area right here, and this area right here, because if you put in that low value, it's not going to stick to your door. So I'm going to put it on both sides. You want to rub it in with your finger. Get that part done. Let's get this little part done right here. I shut my air conditioner off this time because the camera's right next to that area. So I don't want the cat to jump around here. I got a cat right down there at my feet. Now what I've done, my friends, I've marked a little X on this where this has got to go right here. That faces that side because it's not just warped, but it's also bowed. But only one side of it's really bad. So we want to go ahead and clamp it where we got to go. You want to use your longer clamps. Just go ahead and clamp that piece in there. Now, my friends, what I want to do is I want to level it. I want to level my jamb. I leveled that other one. I'm sorry, a casing, not jamb. It's got to go over that way just a tad. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this one down here where the biggest part of that hole is at. Now, as you can see, we are pretty much where we want to go. Loosen this up here a little bit. I don't want to recheck it for that long. All right, it looks good. Well, let's get it nailed in place. Extra nails in it where it's bowed at, that way it will hold a little bit better. And I got the other long piece, I want to put that in. I'm sorry, did I say long piece? I meant decorative piece, the top piece. For my friends, what I want to do is I want to let this set here for a little bit with the door open, but I'm going to go cut my top piece and get that on there. Then I'm going to give you a before and after picture on what the full thing looks like when we're all done here. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Well, my friends, there it is. Trim's all up and it looks really, really, really nice. What I'm going to do is move the camera so you can look at it straight on, so you have an idea of what it looks like from the beginning to the end. That's kind of where we started at. Hold on, I'll be right back. Well, my friends, you're looking at it head on. That's the trim on the inside of it. Looks pretty cool. Let me step over here so you can kind of see. This is called a colonial style trim. It is in my whole entire house. So I'll fill the nail holes and then I'll spray some clear varnish over it, and that'll be good. So my friends, that's a lot better than the other door was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the outside exterior part of this door, and then this video will be ready to upload and get it out to you. So I'll be back in a little bit to show you what the outside of it looks like. Yeah, my friends, let's go see the exterior part of this door. There you're seeing it. Looks like I gotta hit that little piece on the top with a ladder for paint. Let's walk back over here and look at it. There it is. Finished product. Matches the trim that's on the rest of the house. I'm really happy with this paint that I put on there. And it opens pretty good. And there you go. I like how that light shines in there. In the morning, that light shines pretty cool in there. Let's see if we can make it. See what that. Yeah. Sometimes I'll get a different light than that. That's pretty cool. That's a little bit of light in, and that's all they need. Well, my friends, this is a wrap on this door. I want to show you some relief carving that I also enjoy doing. This is a bear relief carving, and I found a really thick piece of wood that I carved that bear out of. And as you can tell, it's a two-dimensional bear. I think that looks pretty cool. And one of these days, my friends, I'm going to do a relief carving so you all can see what that looks like. My friends, I want to thank you for watching this video. May God bless you. May His face shine upon you, and may Jesus always bring you joy. I'll see you in another video.